Hey, what's up? What's up? It is Friday. We are taking a quiz here in class. So, if that is if you're not here, you're just gonna have to make up the quiz at some point during next week. You can come in before or after school during lunch. Any of those times are good to make up the quiz. I will try to see if I can also have a quiz makeup on Thursday. I'm just not certain. I've got to see if I can work that out. Okay, let's keep it pushing. So, this is the screen that you would see if you were here for the quiz. And again, it's just a quiet time, no talking during the quiz. You guys already know how a quiz works. Let's keep it pushing. All right, this is what we're moving into. So this would be the part 2. So again, now we're on page 14. And if you take a look at the system here, this is the system that we have set up. So look at these systems, and then let's go ahead and go over part number 2. So again, pause the screen and try and answer the questions on part number 2. They should be familiar to you. All right, did you get all the questions answered about these systems here? Now, they look slightly different, but they're about the same. So let's go ahead and say, what are the parts of the system? So car. Oops. Mr. Farr's have to scroll back. Car. Ramp. That should be probably the easiest part. What is the boundary of the system? Now, here's one thing we're going to talk about before we get to there. How did the car get on the ramp? We must have had a person or a driver of some sort. So I'm just going to put a person. That person probably is a driver of some sort. Toy car, we got to put it on the ramp. So somehow we got that car on the ramp. What is the boundary of the system? And we would just say end of ramp. That would be the boundary, okay? And then when the system is working, what happens? What happens? Car goes down or accelerates down the ramp. That would be correct. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right there. Boom. Let me get an actual P on an M on there. Okay, cool. For this system to work, how is input or force introduced? A person, right? A person or driver, right? Oops. Driver. Mr. Farr's got to get to his spelling, right? A person or here, I'm gonna fix that. Yep, Mr. Farr's like, I don't like it. So a person or driver puts the car, boom, the car on the ramp. Okay, what's next? All right, identify at least 2 parts of the system, right, that must interact with each other if the system is to function. Now, I would say car and ramp, right? And I would say gravity. I'm going to put a little loop on my G. Gravity pulls the car down the ramp. Or you could say the car rolls down the ramp. Right? You could say something like that. Now, last question. Can a part be removed from the system and it still function? And this is something important. The simpler system is, then the more important all the parts are. So in this case, we could not remove anything from the system and it actually not be there. So make sure that you answered all of those questions for today, and then we'll keep it pushing. Boom. All right. Let's go to this next thing. Now, we've talked about this multiple times, and all you got to do is guess what? It's note-taking time. You guys know it's note-taking time, so write this note in your journal. A group of related parts that makes up a whole system can do things that the individual parts within the system cannot do. So go ahead and get this note in there. There's really not much else for me to say because I've already said this, and we've already talked about this. So again, and just pause the screen, get this note taken down, and then you are good to go for today. Again, pause the screen because you know what time it is. I'm smarter than I think, I am braver than I seem, and I am stronger than I feel, and I can do difficult things. Have an awesome weekend.